Apple is already testing an M3 Max chip, according to Mark Gurman, the worm squirmin' to unravel Tim Cook's apple. For inside the fruit, he finds the seeds, stirring and learning everything he needs for the sermon he turns in. Thank you, Jacob. I'm Riley Murdoch, this is TechLinked Poetry Jam, and this newsletter from the Gurm suggests a Mac equipped with a new chip could come as early as October, potentially setting a Halloween record for the world's worst apple to candify. According to an App Store developer that spoke to Gurman, the M3 Max will have 16 CPU cores, 4 more high performance cores than the M2 Max, and 40 graphics cores, meaning any children who try to eat this All Hallows Eve treat are at risk for severe cyanide poisoning. The test chip in question also had 48 gigabytes of memory, a config that wasn't available in the M2 Max, and may indicate larger RAM options across the board. Besides that, Apple may also be testing an M3 Mac Mini, which is great news for Mini fans who want number go up.
Stonks!
SanDisk SSDs are under the microscope again after The Verge published an article as a creative way to release their frustration over losing 3 terabytes of data. Because their cat has been kicked enough, give them a break! Viren Pavik, incredibly, a producer for The Verge and not Ian from Smosh, although I'm still not sure. Ian?
Put up a picture.
Experienced the data loss on the brand new replacement Extreme Pro SSD SanDisk sent to them after the first one failed earlier this year during a wave of similar drive failure reports.
Third time's the charm.
Despite releasing a firmware fix back in May, reports of failed SanDisk Extreme drives have continued to pop up, leading many to ask, rightly, why these drives are still on sale. Except as a reminder that life is suffering, yet we trudge on through mire and muck, yearning for but a fleeting glimpse of a bright sky before it is submerged again above the encompassing Tartarian barrier. This is a poetry episode.
Do you need a hug? You sound like you need a hug.
Stay away. But as PC World notes, every drive is at some risk of failure, so important data should always be backed up somewhere else. Thankfully, Viren had most of his data backed up and didn't even lose that much, so I don't see what he's whining about. This doesn't seem like a big deal. New research indicates that some bots have surpassed human beings at solving CAPTCHAs, both in terms of speed and accuracy, which isn't ideal given that the whole purpose of the completely automated public Turing test to tell computers and humans apart is to tell computers and humans apart.
And be completely automated.
As bots have become more sophisticated over the last 2 decades, CAPTCHAs have had to become trickier and trickier to keep them out. But much like trying to design a raccoon-proof garbage can, there's a limit to how complicated they can get before humans can't get in them either. And then nobody gets garbage. Is that what we want?
We call it the smart raccoon, dumb human barrier.
The research may imply that current CAPTCHAs are probably just a waste of time that you could spend scratching your nose, or thinking about Traylor Howard, co-star of the Emmy Award-winning television show Monk. Wow, we're branching out now. There are possible alternatives. For one, sites can look for cues that indicate a computer is being controlled by a human, such as how a user fiddles with the mouse or navigates using a touchscreen. Of course, now it's only a matter of time before the robots learn our nervous tics too. And then what will we do?
Then Sweet Anita's out of a career.
Now it's time for Quick Bits, brought to you by Brilliant. If you're looking for a free and easy way to learn new skills, you have to check them out. Or stop pretending that you act in accordance with reason, because Brilliant offers hands-on lessons to help you learn more about a variety of STEM topics. And whether you're learning from scratch or supplementing a college education, Brilliant has something to match your skill level. There's thousands of lessons to choose from, with more always being added, like their Comp Sci Fundamentals course. You can get started for free for 30 days and get 20% off an annual plan by visiting brilliant.org/techlink. So go on, get smart.
I thought we were gonna do it in unison.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever noticed how Quick Bits... A cyber attack that saw hackers access the data of 40 million UK voters went undetected for a year. Thankfully, it was finally discovered last October, except no one bothered to tell the public until yesterday, which is if I'm looking correctly at my, late. The Electoral Commission apologized, but not really, minimizing the situation by claiming that much of the data was already in the public domain, while also admitting it was not able to know conclusively what information was accessed. Don't worry, citizens, whatever information we lost, you already had it. Sony has started rolling out a cloud streaming beta to PS Plus premium subscribers that finally adds support for streaming PS5 titles from the cloud. Allegedly, the feature will support PS Plus catalog titles, game trials, and supported digital PS5 titles that players own at up to 4K resolution. Since Xbox Game Pass only offers 1080p at 60 FPS, this could give PS5 the console cloud gaming crown and also might explain Sony's Project Q. We assumed the Q stood for question, and that question was, why does this exist? It does like one thing. Nvidia has announced a new variant of their GH200 AI superchip coming in the second quarter of next year. The new variant will be the first with HBM3E memory, as opposed to HBM3 no E memory, leading to a 50% increase in GPU memory and a jump from 4 terabytes a second to 5 terabytes a second of GPU memory bandwidth. This will be a welcome addition to the AI market where memory is a serious bottleneck. Man, we should add more E to everything. What a great letter. It's got the things on it on the side.
All the great things start with E.
According to a new study, AI can identify keystrokes by sound alone with 95% accuracy, potentially allowing for theft of passwords and other sensitive information. But before you decide to burn your keyboard and live in the woods, the AI needs to be trained on the sound of the keyboard in question, and the recording would need to be reasonably clear.
Also, burning a keyboard is not a good campfire.
It also typically can't tell when the shift key is released, making it hard to discern between capital and lowercase letters, or a string of numbers and a cartoon swear, which is basically all I ever type.
Just dolphin noises.
And a Detroit woman is suing the city after she was falsely arrested for robbery and carjacking due to flawed facial recognition technology. Perhaps the first discrepancy that should have caught police's attention was the fact that she was 8 months pregnant, while the suspect in the surveillance video very much was not. Frankly, if a woman that pregnant manages to steal your car, I think she gets to keep it.
You deserve to be bum rushed by a pregnant woman.
Honestly, impressive. This is the third incident where Detroit police have made a false arrest based on algorithmic facial recognition, having apparently forgotten that they too have eyes. They could just use those.
When will Detroit learn androids aren't the option? They became human already.
And you should point your eyes toward more tech news this Friday when we launch another episode of Tech Linked. The news pops when it drops, and it never stops. Oh, that was more poetry. I was like, am I supposed to dance?
Dance, monkey.
Because I will.